And I wanted to bring you along tonight on a playtest of Trove. So many people have been so excited about this game and expressed so much support, but nobody's really seen it played out there on the internet, so I thought that I might bring you along tonight on just a one-player playtest. Disclaimer, this is me playing myself versus myself versus myself. This is going to be a four-player game in which I am playing all four roles, so this could get a little confusing, a little nerdy, but you have been warned, so you now know what you've signed up for. Also, this is an unstacked and unsorted demo, so this is not designed to impress you. This is just the game as it's playing now. There's an entire probability that it might all break down, and you guys will get to see that, which will be exciting. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the Knight, the Goblins, the Dragon, and the Cave. Trove is a super asymmetrical four-player dragon-slaying adventure in which four players take on four very different roles: the Knight, the Goblins, the Dragon, and the Cave itself. Each has different pieces, different paths to victory, and we're going to take a look at how that all works out tonight. So, let me get set up here. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the Cave packet. It says, "The Cave. Ancient, mystical, and treacherous, the cave leads those who intrude upon it down a dark and winding path which can only lead to doom. Lure the trespassers deep into your maze, then, at the right time, extinguish them. And the way you win is by collapsing the 3 pillar tiles that you will place during the course of the game." And the other side of the card is a quick summary of the things that you are able to do during your turn as the Cave. Now, also with the game comes a rulebook. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages, short pages. It's 3 pages of printer paper folded over, so it's not a long book. But the nice thing is that using these player cards, you can definitely teach and, for the most part, play the game using only those, and then just refer back to the rulebook as reference. Let me go ahead and lower it down here, so this will be easier. Okay. Now, turned over on the top of my stack of tiles here, this is a tile-based game, so there's a different map every time. I have 6 tiles that are kind of set apart, and those are 3 tiles that say the pit. They're identical on the front, but they have 3 different symbols on the back. And 3 tiles that have a picture of a pool of water with restful lily pads. They have the same 3 symbols on the back. Those symbols are important to the Goblin player, but really don't matter to any other players. The reason there are 3 of each is so that you can select one at random from those 3 backs for both the pit and the pool. And we're going to shuffle those into the deck so that players won't know whether the pit or the pool have a triangle, an X, or a circle on the back. So the setup is really easy. The Cave player is dealt 5 random tiles. And you look at them. And then what the Cave does is it chooses from among these tiles a setup in the shape of a cross, where the Knight will begin his turn or her turn in the center tile of that cross. So let me show you briefly what some of these tiles are, since this may be your first time seeing them. This is an empty tile. Those are just loose rocks. Doesn't look just like that. This tile, if the Knight comes upon this tile, just gets to move right through, nothing to stop or hinder her movement. There's another one like that. This tile has walls on 2 of the sides, meaning that when the knight enters, she'll either enter from this side or from this side. I'll show you how this works, so it'll make sense. And then the spiral means that an event card will be played, which will be good or bad for the knight, depending on what the cave wants to do. Got another one of those with 3 sides. And then I have 3 sides and spikes. This is a nasty card. Tile, I mean. What this does is there's only one way that the knight can enter, and then once the knight enters, takes 1 damage from those spikes. So basically ends movement for the turn by trapping them in a dead end, and they take damage. So this is a particularly brutal sort of a tile. So there are tiles that are nice to walk into, there are tiles that are vicious to walk into, and we're kind of going to explore the ins and outs of why the cave might play those. I have my pit and pool separated out over here. I'm going to shuffle those back into the stack of tiles once I make my starting setup here. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and place the empty tile in the center, and then I'm going to place the rest of them face down so the knight doesn't know what she is about to encounter. And behind the scenes trivia, I refer to the knight as a she because the game is dedicated to my 3-year-old daughter Violet, who I want to be brave and awesome like a knight. So, something you'll only know from watching this video. Okay, now that I've placed those, and as you can see, you got a circle, 2 X's, and a triangle. I'm going to take the pit and the pool, and I'm going to shuffle them into the rest of the deck without looking at what their backs are. And I'm going to try and shuffle them well enough that I'm not certain where in the deck they fall. So, try and do that really quickly. Okay, and that is the entire setup for the game, with the exception that place this token, which is stairs leading down from a beautiful sunset or sunrise over the mountains, right here on the cave entrance. And that is where our brave knight will descend into the madness of this terrible dragon and goblin infested cave. Okay. Now we have the knight. Brave, strong, and utterly alone, the knight plunges into the darkness of the cave with sword in hand, ready to overcome the fearful things that lurk in the shadows. Explore, fight, grow stronger, and conquer. How to win? Find the pit, kill the dragon, and get out alive. And then it has an asterisk, which says, if the dragon is playing, you don't have to get out alive, just kill it. So since we're playing a game with 4 players tonight, all the knight needs to do is kill the dragon to get out alive. So here is the knight, looking very adventurous. I'm going to place her right here on the center tile where she descends. Now the knight has these bomb tokens, which have rubble on the other side. These are going to help her when she's trapped in situations like that spiked dead end that we know is out there. Well, the knight doesn't know it's out there, but we as the cave know that it's out there, to sort of bust through walls when there's no other way out. Also, the knight has a potion, which allows her to revive full health at any time she can play this, and level cards. Now, the way Trove works is you start at level 1, and as you earn gold, you can increase your level up to level 5. For each level, you have options for which special ability you want to take. So level 1, you have no special abilities. You just have 3 hit points. At level 2, you have 2 choices. You can be quick, or you can be strong. Quick will let you take an extra movement each turn. Strong will let you roll an extra dice whenever you enter combat. You choose one of these when leveling up and discard the other one for the remainder of the game. levels also act as your hit points. So if you take a hit, you set aside your highest level card until such time as you can heal. So damage tends to be rapidly cumulative and knock down your best abilities. So damage is painful, but seems balanced so far. So we'll see how that works out tonight. So I've got, so there are 2 options for level 1, 3 for level 3, 4 for level 4, and 5 for level 5. So your options greatly expand throughout the course of the game. And then you have a number of dice. We're just going to start with 1, because that's what you start with. And you'll use that for combat, but not for movement. Okay. The knight is the first real player, although the cave did some setup. So the cards, again, have sort of the cheat sheet, but I'm just going to talk you through what they're able to do. The cheat sheets are all posted on the Board Game Geek article, if you'd like to see that. Okay, so the knight can start by moving 1 space into a dark tile. Can't move diagonally, only horizontally and vertically, and only on edges of tiles not blocked by walls. Now, the video quality here is okay, but you may have some difficulty seeing the tiles, so I'm going to try and tilt the computer to help you see those when relevant. I'm going to go ahead and go forward. All right. So the knight entered this tile. Now the knight, when she walks into a tile and flips it upright, chooses the direction in which it's rotated. However, you must always leave a path by which you entered, so since this is 3 walls, there's really only one way for her to come in, so she's going to go like that. Okay. So now, if it was just a 2-player game, the knight would simply draw the top cave event card, because of the event spiral symbol on here, and take whatever's there. But since we're playing with the cave, there's a little more to it than that. The cave has a hand of 3 event cards and 3 tiles at any given time. When the knight lands on an event or requires new tiles to be placed, the cave chooses which tiles are placed or event cards are dealt from its hand. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the cave can do right now to this poor knight. The first one is wounded. The knight will have to pay twice as much to heal 1 heart until the next time he or she visits the pool. So the pool card that we put in is a healing spot. So wounded will make it twice as difficult to heal. Hero's Luck is, on the contrary, a great card for the hero. I keep saying hero, by the way, because the knight was originally called hero. So I use those words interchangeably, but I'm trying to train myself to say knight. On any player's turn, the knight can change the outcome of 1 die 1 time, then discard this. And the third one is Exhausted, for which the knight has to spend, basically use an extra pay gold to leave this tile. So you can wound, exhaust, or give luck to the hero. Now you would think that the card, being the hero's, not the hero, being another player, would want to immediately go to a take that mentality. However, it's a little more nuanced than that. The cave is not really playing against the knight specifically, but against all the players. And the cave's game is to stretch out the game until all of the tiles are placed, and then rapidly collapse the cave. So actually, wounding the player now might wounding the knight now might make the knight too vulnerable to attack by goblins and might end the game prematurely. Exhausted is just going to stall the player out there. So we're just going to go with Hero's Luck. We're going to be nice right now. So Hero's Luck goes to the knight. Now you'll see that there are 2 kinds of event cards. This one has a burst around it, and this one doesn't. These will be more clearly labeled and explained in the final design, but burst cards are read aloud and are public, whereas non-burst cards are private if the hero wants to keep them that way. So the hero doesn't have to reveal what this equipment is. So the hero gets this. Again, the knight gets this. the knight is just going to not tell the other players that some of their destiny is in her hands, and she's just going to stick with that. Okay, so now the cave draws another card, and a large number of the cave's cards look like this, with 1 goblin symbol, 2 or 3 goblin symbols inside. And what that essentially means is that if this card is given to the hero, when the knight enters an event tile, a couple of wild goblins are going to jump out and attack, and we'll see what that looks like next time that comes up. Okay, so that was all the knight's turn, just getting dealt a card from the cave. The knight moved into this square. And the knight's turn, especially first turns for all players, are usually pretty short. Can't do anything else, doesn't have any gold to take an extra turn. Okay, with one exception. It says here, I'll write on here, take a hit, -1 health, to sprint through explored tiles to a dark tile. So at any time on her turn, the knight can take a hit to health, and then move through any contiguous explored tiles into a dark tile. So the knight is never truly trapped or stuck, unless you only have 1 hit point left. But it's early in the game yet. We're not going to do that. We're just going to park here and then maybe use a bomb or something on our next turn to get out. Okay. That's the hero's turn then. The knight's turn. I'm going to get that down. I really am. Now, the goblins. Hungry, innumerable, and chaotic, the goblin horde and the monsters they summon hunt down anyone foolish enough to enter their tribal domains. Flood the cave with your forces, cutting off any hope your enemy has of escape. How to win? Kill the knight. So, here's what you do. As the goblin, you have, obviously, your player mat there. Then these goblin cards. And then a ton of figures, some of which are your goblin tribes, 3 of which are your goblin tribes, 9 of which are monsters that you can summon by paying goblin tribes. Let's see here. So this is the X tribe, scary, and an X marker. I'll show you what that's for. Triangle marker. Triangle tribe, circle tribe, and where is it? Circle marker. All the monsters here we don't need to sort them out. They're not going to come into play yet. My secret dream is to have each of these be a molded plastic piece, but I'm trying not to get ahead of myself on that. Okay, so not only does the knight have dice, but the goblins have dice. And what the goblin does is rolls to spawn out goblin cards into their various tribes. You see that? Let me move that up. There we go. Okay. This uses an exploding dice mechanic, where if a 6 is rolled, then we spawn out 6 cards and roll again. If another 6 is rolled, and it's another 6 cards. Keep going. Normally, though, it's just the number rolled is the number of goblin cards that are spawned out. So let's see what happens here. First dice roll of the game is a 2. So I take 2 goblin cards, and now I'm going to assign them to these tribes. So what I got is 1 and 3. So what this means is if I attack with a tribe with 1 goblin in it, the knight just has to roll a 1 in order to defeat that, and then the knight will have 1 gold by looting. If I attack with 3, the knight has to roll 3 to defeat those, 3 or higher, gets 3 gold. If I put both of these in the same tribe, the knight has to roll 4. If the knight can't roll that number, let's say the knight rolls a 1, the knight would defeat this one but take a hit. The knight would defeat this one, but take a hit, and then have to roll again to try and defeat these 3. If the knight were to roll a 2, it would only defeat this one, because you don't make change with goblins. If a knight were to roll a 4, instantly defeat all of these and not take a hit. So I think there's a couple of different strategies. You can pack out one tribe, you can spread them out through various tribes. This is 4 goblins. I'm going to go ahead and put all 4 of these into the X tribe, because I've got an idea what I want to do down the road. I want to start... Actually, you know what? Wait. I'm going to put them all in the triangle tribe. And the reason is this. I happen to know what the monsters are because I've looked at the sheet and I made them up. This one... sorry, that should say 5 up there. That's from an old version. 5 triangle goblins gets the pet frog. The pet frog will give me an extra 1 card every turn. So I want to get 5 goblins and spawn this monster as rapidly as possible. But my turn is done. I don't want to spawn out these goblins because I could put them right here and then the knight could probably come and quickly kill me. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to spawn those guys up and then leave them there. And that's me. Okay. I guess saying that's me isn't very helpful when I'm the only one playing a 4-handed game against myself. Next up, the dragon. The game's going to speed up after this first turn, don't worry. Okay, powerful, cunning, and full of rage, the dragon has awoken from centuries of slumber beneath the cavern floor. Now it searches for a way out of its stone dungeon to wreak fiery destruction on the world above. Play cat and mouse, biding your time before dealing a devastating strike. How to win? Climb out of the pit and escape the cave entrance. That's what it looks like. All this is borrowed DeviantArt art, and it is awesome. The instructions for what to do. Okay, dragon setup. Dragons also have cards right here. And then they have another mini cheat sheet. I'm considering making a second player mat or making these player mats wider for all 4 characters, because all 4 of them have some kind of a thing they could have helped to reference. Like the cave, it could be all of the tiles. The knight, it could be all of the level ups. The goblins, it could be all the monsters. And the dragon could be all of these power ups. I'll show you how those work in a second. In the meantime, let me show you the cards. There is only 3 kinds of cards here. Just wing, fire, more fire, wing, and claw. The claw says roll to eat affected goblins. The fire says roll to reveal affected tiles. Oh, did I lose it here? Oh, still there? Great. And the wing says move any distance diagonally. So I'm going to shuffle those really quick because I just ordered them. Okay. Now, at setup, the dragon gets 3 cards, which here are claw, fire, claw. Okay. And also the dragon has 3 tokens that look like this. A gem, and on the other side it has 5, 20, or an explosion symbol. And the dragon can, at any time on any player's turn, place one of those gem tokens down. Only one can be out at any time. Face down so that only the gem is showing. And the dragon can state that it's worth any of those 3 values, and that does not have to be the truth. So the dragon essentially has a way to say, yep, there's 20 gold over there, go get it. And it could be completely true, and the dragon could be trying to help another player, which frequently happens. Or it could be a total lie, and a trap could go off and explode and kill a lot of players. And we'll show you how that works. The dragon starts its turn on the same tile as the hero. It's not actually on the same tile in the game. It is on the same tile, but the The idea is that it's underneath the floor of the cave. So you just see a claw here. It's down below. And so when the dragon moves, it's able to move without regard for walls. It moves like a rook as far as it wants in any back, forth, left, or right direction. And then wreaks its will on the game board. Show you what that means. So, again, fire and claw are the two cards that I got. Now, as I said, I have this combo sheet. And I can play cards in combinations to do more powerful things. So let me just look what I have for the fire and claw with... okay, so those are not combos that are on here. So 2 claws and a fire isn't going to do anything for me combo-wise. Later there will be things that will. Claws will let me eat goblins. Fire will reveal hidden tiles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and... oh, sorry. At the start of my turn, I also draw 1 more card. That's the wing. I'm going to stick with plan A, though. I'm going to move as far as I want in one direction, which in this case is just 1. Sorry. Dragon, center tile. And then I'm going to roll this custom dice. And it's going to show me the tiles that I can affect with this flame card. So, flame card, played, roll, sat here in the center, and I rolled this, which means that the tile I'm on and the tile north, south, east, and west are all the tiles affected by the card I just played, which is the flame, which reveals tiles. So that is actually the perfect roll for me. What I've just done is revealed all of these cards, which I can then turn in any direction I choose as the one who revealed them. So great. So that's that. And the dragon's goal is to find the pit and get out of it before the hero. So, having done that, I now know that the pit is not any of those, which is great. Now it's the cave's moment. On any player's turn, whenever there is a tile revealed that isn't blocked on its edge by a wall, then the cave jumps right in and covers up those exposed edges sorry, brain freeze, with tiles. Okay, let's look at what I have. This is going to be a short game. This is great. Perfect for a demo. There's the pit, and an event card, and a nothing card. So the rule is that the cave has to lay down the pit as the next place tile whenever it is... just whenever I draw the pit as the cave, I have to play it as soon as possible. So in this case, I'm going to place it here, because that seems like the most difficult place to get to, because the dragon placed a wall here. I know that this is a little hard to see. I'll pick up the computer and show you in a second. I'm going to place this guy here, this guy here. Now I draw 3 more cards, because I use that. Actually, technically, I should place 1 and then draw 1, place 1 and then draw 1. That's the correct way to do it. Okay, so then we got spikes, event, and blank. So I'm going to put down spikes, and then I'm going to draw 1, because that's the better way to play. And it's another blank, and I'm going to place the event right here. Okay, that's the dragon's turn. I think the dragon's pretty happy about that, so it's going to be done. Now it's the cave's turn. The cave gets to play 1 tile on its turn every time. So it's all blank tiles now. So it's just going to place 1 over here in the hopes of making people think that that's the way to go. Because now the pit is out. It's right here. Let me go ahead and show you the board if I can. See if this makes more sense. Can you see that? I'm not sure how visible that is. So the pit is not there, right there. So if the dragon or the hero find that, it's going to be endgame almost immediately. So that's great for the dragon. Hero, it kind of sucks for the cave and the goblins. I'm currently considering a world in which you are supposed to put the cave in the last third of the deck so that playtime is more consistent. Right now it can be very swingy. You can have 5-minute games or 45-minute games. I think I'm probably going to implement putting it in the final third of the deck, just so that playtime is more consistent, because I think that people will probably want to know how long a game is going to last. But there's a part of me that likes that really swingy effect too. Okay, that was that. So now it's the hero's turn. The hero can disregard where the dragon is, because the dragon is underneath the floor and can't hurt the hero. So the hero is just going to go through here. This is an empty tile. Remember, hero can move freely through empty tiles. Going to go through here, same thing, empty tile, and over here. And I'm trying to play the hero as if I didn't know where the pit was. Alright, so there is another empty tile. So here the cave would be called upon to place a new tile, all of which are empty, so it's just going to do the hallway because that's the most frustrating to the hero. Let's say the hero doesn't trust the cave, decides to not go down the new one and goes down the old one. Another empty tile. So wow, the hero is just racing along here. Picked up a pit, or sorry, a spike, so I'm definitely going to play that in an attempt to hurt the hero since the hero is being ornery. And the other one is a hall, so either way this is going to be less fun for the hero in a second. Wow, I'm drawing all spikes. This is really exciting. Let's say the hero goes on the spikes, because I want to show you the damage engine. Hero goes on the spikes. That hurts. And it's a hallway, so that's kind of a really sucky card. Tile. Hero gets hurt. So what happens is, this card says, flip over when hit. Injured. Rotate when hit. If the knight takes another hit, turn it around, dying. If it takes one more hit, then the knight dies. The knight can use the potion at any time to revive to full health, but not if she dies all the way. So I've turned that card around to injured. And that's going to end the knight's movement for that turn, unless the knight chooses to hurt herself once more to sprint, which I don't think we're going to do. Now look, I as the cave could go ahead and play another spike to hurt the knight again, but really that's not in my best interest, because I need to refine this rule a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and say here that the cave cannot kill the knight, because that would be a broken win condition. So the worst that the cave can do is knock the knight down to 1 health. And the cave, again, is not trying to kill the knight as fast as possible. The cave wants the knight to survive long enough that all pieces can be played. And especially now that's important, since the pit is out. Although the knight doesn't know that. It's going to play something else. Alright, that's going to be the end of the knight's turn. Now it's time for the goblins. Here we go. 2. Another 2. Not super exciting. Except, this is exciting. Poison and poison. Poison, if the goblins land a hit on the knight, then the knight can't heal until she finds the pool, or finds a healing card. I'm going to put both of those on there, because you can't put... you have to have at least 1 goblin in a tribe to put something down. And I'm going to turn these over. These should normally be face down in a tribe so that the other players don't know what they are. Okay, so I was really hoping for at least 1 more goblin so I could get that pet frog, but that didn't happen. There's just X's and O's around here, no triangles near the knight, and the triangle tribe can only spawn up on a triangle, which is here or here. So again, the goblin is just going to wait there. So pretty inert goblin so far, and given how this game is going, it's likely to remain inert. Okay, the dragon is going to explore over here. And if I had all night, I would do a longer game, but I'm actually kind of excited that we're going to be able to see just a quick little game here, so I'm going to go for it. Oh, sorry. This is assuming that the dragon has a blaze fire, which currently it doesn't. So let's draw one more. Oh, still no fire. Okay. So all the dragon can do at the moment is claw, or move diagonally, or play these as a combo. Let's see if there are any relevant combos with claws and wings. Claws and wings, you can roar, by which you can push the knight, a tribe, or a monster 3 tiles away from you. And you can do that with 2 claws and 2 wings, but I only have 3 claws and 2 wings. You can devour with 3 claws, which is eating a monster, but there are no monsters out. So really, I'm pretty stuck at this point as the dragon. I need to need the goblins to spawn up so I can eat some. So I'm just going to bide my time here. And hope to draw a fire soon. Okay. But I'm noticing that the hero is kind of hurt, and again, the dragon doesn't really want the hero dead in the early game either, so I'm going to go ahead and put just a little good stuff out on the board. This is the 5. I'm going to put that right there and say, you know what, you're hurt. I want you to stay alive long enough that... Oh, wait. Yeah, I want you to stay alive long enough that we can all find the pit. The goblins don't kill you, so I'm going to put that there. Okay, so now it's the cave's turn. The cave has more spikes. Jeez, there are not that many spikes in the game. We are just loading them all up right here. A goblin, which is a wild goblin attack on the knight, and then a blank room. So we'll go ahead and do a goblin there, because we're feeling bad for the knight right now. Okay, that's it. Oh, except, yeah, no, that's it. If at any time the contents of the tiles all match, or the walls of the tiles all match on any player's turn, then the cave can play all 3 of these face down on the board wherever it wants. So if all 3 of these were spikes, or if all of 3 of these had these corner walls, then I could set them down here, here, and here, wherever I wanted. So that's a great way of getting rid of tiles quickly, and it helps to keep the game length more consistently at 45 minutes, because you go through the tiles more quickly. Okay, the knight is going to move, and it's going to trust the dragon, which is a good move, since that is in fact a 5. So that's 5 gold, which is great. Also being attacked by a wild goblin, which is actually a good thing, believe it or not, because it just means it's the top card from the goblin's hand. And in this case, normally that would just be like, geez, I don't shuffle very well at all tonight. Normally that would be something like this, which would basically, you know, unless I can't roll a 3, be 3 free gold. In this case, the top card was this, a goblin sword, which is a great thing for me. I am going to then take a dice from the goblin's bag, and I get 2 dice for combat now instead of just 1. So I just picked up a sword in the dark. So that's awesome. This tile needs an edge placed, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that as the cave. Draw another one. Okay. Haven't yet as the cave drawn any pillars. Pillars are critical to the cave's win conditions. Collapsing the 3 pillars is how I win the game. So if I find a pillar tile, I'm likely to either place it somewhere that I think is going to remain on the edge, so sort of down out of the focus of the playing field, or I'm going to put it to hold it in my hand until I can place it closer to the end. So I've done that. This guy just did that. Okay, so I now have 5 gold, which I can spend to heal, because that costs 3 gold once a turn, or to move again, or actually both, because moving is 1 and healing is 3. So I'm going to, and you can't make change in the game, so I'm going to give the dragon back the gem, take 1 extra move here, into a blank tile, which is great, and then heal, flipping my card back over to full health. Because it's a blank tile, I'm going to continue to move through it as soon as the new tiles are placed. Moving through to here. Another blank tile with no walls. Now this is good for me because it's helping me explore. It's also good for the cave because it means that more tiles are being placed. And again, once all the tiles for the cave are placed, then the collapse begins and the cave can destroy those 3 pillars and win the game. Also, hopefully taking the focus off of the fact that the pit is already placed right here. This is empty. I, as the knight, am gonna go here, because why not? Okay, it's an event. But there's an empty wall that needs to be filled, so I, as the cave, am going to put down that. But you don't need to know what it is. We'll keep some mystery. Okay, an event, right. So again, I have my 3 event cards. I have Wounded, Exhausted, and the 2 goblins. So I'm going to throw the 2 goblins at him now, since he has 2 dice. He will have a hard time losing against that. So I say, you are being attacked by 2 goblins. Stick those back under my event cards. What happens is just the top 2 cards from the goblin deck are thrown at him. And as I said, I shuffled this badly, and I happened to kind of peek at what this is. You know, there could be times when you just get a lot of things there, but for the sake of showing, let's see what happens here with 1 shuffle. So top 2 cards from the goblin deck are 3 goblins and another 3 goblins. So the knight is being attacked by 6 goblins. Great. I really wanted to show you combat, so this is awesome. The knight takes her 2 dice and rolls. Oh, but I don't take a hit. So I roll a 6 and a 4. So that'll beat all of them in 1 fell swoop. If I hadn't done that, then I would have taken a hit, defeated however many goblins I had rolled, and then rolled again. And the goblins would have had an option to run away after landing 1 hit. But I beat all of them. I'm going to take these. Thank you very much. And now if I want to, I can level up, which I do. So I'm going to, I can only level up once per turn. So I'm just going to take these, and I pass any gold that I spend to the player on my right, which in this case is the cave. And then I'm going to choose one of my 2 level 2 cards. Strong or quick, giving me extra movement or extra attack. So far, attack hasn't been a problem. I got that extra goblin dice, so I'm going to choose quick, which is going to let me take 1 more movement action each turn. And I'm going to place that here. So now that's an extra ability and an extra hit point. This is now 44 minutes of video, so please know that the actual game moves faster than this, and if you're still with me, you are amazing. The event ends my turn. Goblins, roll. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can pick them all up for you to assign them. Can look at them. 1 goblin, treasure. That's bad for the goblins, but good for the hero. You have to assign it to a tribe, and then if the hero gets that tribe, he gets that treasure. Poison, which we already talked about, and a goblin sword, which will let the goblins roll to attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign 1 to Circle and give him the treasure so that he's sort of off by himself and can't hurt anyone. I'm going to assign 1 to... Oh, wait, hang on. I have a better idea. assign 1 to circle. I'm going to assign the treasure to the triangle tribe and 1 other goblin. I'm going to assign the sword and the poison to that circle tribe. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this one with the 2 poisons, the treasure, and the 5 goblins. I'm going to spend the 5 goblins, putting them back under here. Because when goblins spend goblins, they just recycle back into the deck to spawn up that pet frog I was talking about earlier. And I can, because the tribe isn't spawned, I can pop him on any triangle. So I'm going to put him here. Now on my next turn, that's going to mean a free card that I get. And then these 3, because there's no goblins to carry them, just get discarded. Gone. Easy. So I got rid of the treasure. The poison I didn't care that much about, because this I think has a poison on it already. Yep. And I got a monster, so that's great for me. Now that that's happened, I'm done. It's the goblins. Dragon's turn. Drawing a card. Another claw. This is not helping me end my demo more quickly, but let's try eating a monster. So the dragon's going to move like a rook straight over here next to this monster, and then roll the impact dice to try and get that guy. You have to spend first, spending 3 claws to try and eat this monster. 3 claws, try and eat the monster. It's directly next to it. This means that it gets the corners diagonal from it. So any monsters that were in this, or this spot would be eaten, but this guy is right here. So that was, unfortunately for the dragon, a waste of 3 cards. Not a great game for the dragon so far. The dragon's going to be done, and is feeling somewhat chagrined, I must say. Okay, the cave's turn. The cave is kind of actually loving what's happening, because the more people sort of get immersed in the rest of the game, the less likely they are to remember to explore here where the pit is. Okay, that's it, just 1. Didn't have any combos, so place an extra tile and that's all. The hero's gonna go. The hero has an extra move this turn, so let's not forget that. I'm gonna go here, up, trapdoor. So what a trapdoor does is if there's 2 trapdoor, there are 3 trapdoor tiles. If more than 1 is exposed, then you can travel instantly between them. In this case, that doesn't really help the hero, given that it's a dead end and there's no other trapdoors revealed. So now the hero is going to bomb his way into that, her way, whatever, and it's the night. So I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I think I need to go to bed here. So the hero's going to move use that second movement. You can always bomb on a movement. Places it on the wall of this tile and reveals this one to show a corner. And the way bombs work is they blow up walls on adjacent walls on 2 different tiles. So it's always good when you use a bomb to place it any walls on the same wall that you just bombed through. He's going to place another tile there. Draw again. Cave just got a pillar, so that's good because once it knows where all 3 pillars are, it knows what it needs to collapse in order to win the game. Props to one of my playtesters for suggesting the pillars. It's a much more elegant solution than any I've had before. That's an empty tile, so he's going to continue moving, the knight, into this tile, which is another empty one, so just going to move it to this tile, which is a goblin attack. Missing a wall on that side, so here's another tile for that. And since it's a goblin attack, the first card from the goblin is flipped up. It's 3. Roll dice. It's not Snake Eyes, so I beat it. Get that. It's going to be 3 gold. Now, as long as I don't hit an event, I can keep moving. I can spend gold to move additional spaces. So I'm going to spend this gold card, giving it to the cave. Move again out here. Oh, it's another goblin card. Oh, it's treasure. Treasure is basically a free anything I want to buy. Thank you very much. I still have 3 moves from spending that goblin, so now you just use 1, here's 2, here's 3. It's a blank, so I get to move straight through there. So this is a great turn for the knight. Uh-oh, another pillar. Okay, so now the cave is going to have to start thinking about what it wants to do, because if it's got the pillars out, it just wants to make very sure it's placing those on an edge so that it's easier to collapse them at the end of the game. Okay, I can move freely through that. I'm going to move into here. Ah, there's an event. Okay. So that's going to be the end of movement for this turn. Flip up an event from the deck. Desecrate is going to give 3 cards to the goblins, wounded and exhausted. At this point, let's do Desecrate. So I play Desecrate, Desecrate! The goblins get 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3, and the goblins assign it to a single tribe. The card specifies that. It goes there. Okay, that's the end of the hero's turn. So at this point I actually need to end the demo because I've run out of time. But this will give you, a general sense of the play of the game. It's interesting to see how different characters get to do different amounts in different rounds. This was a very knight-heavy, cave-heavy game. Other ones, you're going to see the goblins super active or the dragons super active. So the narrative really changes depending on how the tiles lay out, what the knight encounters, and what the goblins roll. Really, all of it is in tension with each other. So hopefully you like what you see, and that gives you a little flavor for it. There's a lot more to it. Well, there's a lot more possibilities that can emerge, but I think you got a good sense of most of the mechanics. I hope you like it. Thanks for sticking with me for, almost an hour. So that's Trove. I'm David Somerville. If you want to know more, follow more about this project, I'm tweeting at ThisIsTrove. I'm also on Board Game Geek. My name is SMRVL, which is like Somerville with all the extra letters taken out. And I'd love to talk to you and know what you think about the game. So thanks a lot, and see you soon. Thanks. Bye.